Hi, if you've come across this was definitely meant for you. Um, I just came across one of the people on my algorithms, and their message was very enlightening and very direct towards me, it felt. And that's one thing about this type of stuff is like you'll come across people, and it's like, how does this resonate with me? How do I know this is meant for me? Yeah, you just do. Um, But what I'm trying to say is like sometimes people will say stuff and it doesn't click, and then someone else can say the same thing and it does, just because the way they say it. It's like they can understand more, they can relate, they've been there, where you can tell others can't. They don't have the experiences to really understand you or really connect with you in the way that you're looking for. So hopefully I have that ability to help you and connect with you, and that's why you've come across this. Um, why am I someone to follow, to watch, to learn from? Well, based off the last message I got, it took me back to a conversation I had earlier today with someone who I haven't seen in a long time. And they saw me post this type of stuff. They see what's going on with me, so they reached out and we talked. And they've also been going through similar stuff. And near the end of our conversation, it was like the true self of what drives me, why I am the way that I am, what fuels my fire in a sense. And after I said it, he was just like, wow, because it's the truth. How can I help you? What is my purpose for you? Why are you seeing this? Why are you connecting with me? Well, if you've ever been to hell and back, I've been there too. And if you've been through hell, you've got the scars. And you're probably figuring that your life will always be as it is in survival mode, because that's pretty much how you've learned to function most of your life, if you were like me. For me, it's pretty simple. I'll be cold and as blunt as possible and quick so I don't take up too much of your time. I was raped violently under the age of 5, I guess, preschool age. I then went through an encounter years later, still in elementary years, with my biological. I never blocked any of the stuff out, so I always remembered. I always carried it. It wasn't buried away and came out like it has for other people I've met throughout my life. No, I remembered it every day. And I dealt with the pain. I dealt with the way it made me feel. I dealt with all the suicidal thoughts that come along later in life. I dealt with the ramifications of what you go through, what you feel, how you look at yourself. I've done the drugs, done the booze, been there, done that. I walked a life where most people don't ever come out okay. Usually it's in jail, 6 feet under, but it's not a life you usually come out of. And if you do, you're pretty much damaged, scarred for life. It stays with you. What stays with you is basically what you feel like you deserve and what you're worth. And for me, because I was so young, I've been broken my whole life. Anyone who's ever known me, I'm wasted potential. It's like, oh, same shit all over again, man. Because it is. It's like a cycle that just never ends. You can almost time it out. You can almost feel it coming. You get used to it and you operate. You function. You work. You have a family. You get through it. But inside, you know what you're feeling. You know how hard it is. You know you're barely keeping it together. You got a bunch of band-aids holding you. And you're just ready for them to fall apart. But the one thing I know throughout my life is, yeah, you are going to fall apart, you are going to break, you're going to crumble, you're going to fall down, and then you either decide to put the pieces together and get the hell back up. That's it. It's or you're done. You give up and you quit. So that's why I challenge anybody, because I know pretty much there's not a living person on this planet that could have walked my path and come out the way that I am. I know what this world is like. I know how evil this world is. I know its moral values. I know what's inside of people. I've listened to it, I've seen it, and I've felt it. And I've come out on the other side. Because I wasn't going to let that determine my outcome. I wasn't going to let my mistakes determine my future. And I wasn't going to keep punishing myself. Because I did. I regretted some of the decisions I've made. It's been hard to look in the mirror when you know you give up on yourself. But the truth is, I always knew I had to go down a certain path. Even when I was trying to not go that way, I was always being pulled towards it. And now I'm at the point in my life where I actually understand why I had to go the way that I had to. It was to learn the things I needed to learn in order to help the people like you. To let you know there is a light. There is a part of you that you can't even imagine. But deep inside, I've realized it's that little child in us. That's the part that you're trying to find. And that's the door you need to open up again to find that light. Those inner things that made you feel so safe and so happy when you were so young, before all the pain, before anyone ever told you what they thought, what their view was, where you were just in your world, happy. That's the place that is hard to find. And it's the place that gets damaged the most. And when it does, it affects us throughout our entire life. Because we don't know how to heal from it. We're not really taught. We are now educated more so, but who's got the money? Like, some of us need some major ass counseling, right? Who can afford that shit? Not everybody. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you feel helpless. You feel like there's no hope. The truth is, it all comes from within yourself. And it's actually just knowing that you are actually good enough as you are. And it's actually finding the power to actually love yourself for who you are exactly as you are. And knowing it's okay. And knowing it's okay to forgive yourself. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. You're going to fuck up a whole bunch. But what do you do afterwards? Do you keep repeating it over and over and over? Or have you learned? Have you grown? Do you want to make it right? There's a difference. And that's why I say we all have a choice. We choose to be a positive or a negative. And when I say that, it's because our reactions. Someone's going to come at us. Are we going to go to their level? I can go to that level. You don't want me to, but I can. But why am I letting you take me down there? How am I any better? How have I grown? How have I evolved? And that's for me what I had to really let go of, is like, if people hurt me, trust me, man, it wasn't going to be a good outcome for you. And if you try to play me off like a punk or a bitch, shit. You think Mike Tyson biting an ear off with something? Shit, I'll make that look like childbirth. I've been around enough rage and chaos. I know my darkest darkness to know my brightest light. I know what the hell I am made out of. And I know what I will do to protect the ones I care about. Bottom line, I know me. Most of us don't. And the parts they do know, they might not like. Or they'll feel like other people will judge them and ridicule them and punish them. You already do that. No one is ever going to be as hard on themselves as you are. And that's the one thing that we actually really need to understand, is how we look at ourselves is the most damaging thing in existence. Because how we view ourselves, no one else is even close to how you see you, in the good ways or the bad ways. Because they don't give a shit. They're too fucked up in their own shit. They might act like a certain way. That's just to deflect on what the fuck they're dealing with inside. They're not even at the level to comprehend it or open up to it. So they're going to throw it at other people. They're going to throw it at you. because they can't even deal with their own shit. And yeah, they might have more money and look like they're doing better off. Looks are deceiving, man. Never judge a book by its cover. Rule number 1. Like, you remember that as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, if you can relate to me, then hey, keep following. If not, find someone who you can relate to. But just remember, you have everything within yourself that you need to get through whatever life throws at you. And that's the truth. You don't need no book to tell you. You don't need no shrink to tell you. You were made for the life that you're living. You chose it. And I've said this before because people need to understand. You got this. You are made for the life that you are living. Only you are, no one else. You're strong enough. Okay? You're strong enough. You're still here. You haven't quit. You haven't given up. You haven't thrown in the friggin' towel. And you're not going to. Because you know, today isn't as bad as it was yesterday. For some of us, hey, it may actually be worse. But you know something? It's different. And guess what? Tomorrow will also be different. It'll be a new day. New hope. New opportunity. You have to believe. And it's not easy because life will test you to see if you believe. It will challenge you to see if you grow. It will try and bring you back down every friggin' time. It's not an easy process. It's a test to see, are you really ready to grow? Are you really ready to level up and move on and evolve? Are you going to stay in the same shit over and over and over? Are you going to let it go? Or are you going to let it keep dragging your ass down? This is the power that you have within yourself. No one else has it. No one else can help you. You have to help you. You have to believe in you. And that's all there is to it. That's it. It's that damn simple. It starts with you. You have to know. You got this. You're made for this. You are made for the life you are living. So quit doubting it. Whatever obstacles are in your way, they're temporary. I'm out of work. I just got my notice the other day. I got nothing coming in. Okay? Am I crying about it? No. Am I feeling like, oh shit? A little bit. But hey, I'm going to get through it. I always do. Plain and simple. There's no other option. I will and it will. It's a mindset. You have to believe in you. You have to know it's going to be okay, and you have to make it okay. And the only way you can do that is by believing in yourself. Because guess what? No one else is going to. Why? Because they don't want you to be better than them. That's just like humanity, man. No one is going to tell you that you can do something that they cannot do. Not your family, not your friends, nobody. Because that means that you're better than them. And how do you think that's going to make them feel? Come on now. You think they really want to admit that and say that shit? Child, please. Okay? Believe me. All you gotta do is believe in you. Have a good one.